Alright guys, this is gonna be a quick MULN summary video. Every little detail that you need to know, well, not every detail, but all the big picture details. Um, let's see here. We're gonna look at a couple things. So one of them for AMC, we're gonna compare AMC GME squeezes to MULN. If we look right here, AMC was at 1208 on May 21st, 2021. There was 53 million shares traded. If we look right here, it closed 8 days later at $62. Every single day all the way up was green, except for this one. So from 26.52 to 26.12, then 32.04, then 62. So there's one red day out of like 8 days. But if we look at the volume, it was 53 million on the May 21st when it was at 1208. And if we go back, there was a 54 million right here and a 49 million right here about 2 weeks before. And basically from the time that the volume was real low to picking up real heavy, it fell back down to a real low. And then it squoze, and we saw some massive volume. If we go to GME Daily Price History, then we come in here. Let's update this to there. Apply it. Alrighty. Now when I come down here, we see, so basically GME had its final real squeeze where it was the threat of the market. February 24th, 2021. Is actually February 23rd was the day before that. And you'll see right here we had 7 million in volume. Then it jumped up to 83 million, then 150 million as the price went from $40 to $184. If we look at the 7 million right here and we go back, it's the lowest volume all the way until January 12th. And there was a squeeze from this January 12th from $19, obviously, all the way to the $480. And it all started with very low volume. So there's two squeezes on GME that you just saw where the low volume was connected. The AMC one I just showed you where it's connected. If we check out the MULN one, we're at 38 million volume today. If you look back, we've had a lot of volume, but never 38 million. And if you keep going back, basically you'll see it's 38 million is the lowest it's been since it was February 18th. And at this point, the price went from 63 cents to 61 cents to 63 cents to 62 cents. And then it went from 62 cents all the way to $1.95 in 2 days. And so this is kind of where MULN started. And if you look at the volume, just billions and billions of shares traded over the last 2 months. Probably almost 10 billion shares traded. Maybe it's only 6 or 7. But basically, we're falling back down on the volume. And so this is the lowest volume day that we've had since this all really began. And for me, that's a bullish signal because before every other squeeze, that's exactly what we saw. So super happy about that. Now, if you didn't know, real quick, MULN dilution. So at February 11th, it was announced there was 20 million retail shares right here, 20 million public float. And then March 14th, they announced that it was 150 million public float. And then March 28th, they announced that it was 210 million public float. And then it was only to March 31st that they announced that it was 250 million public float. But they announced that on April 14th. Actually, no, it was April 18th on a Monday. Let's see here. Is that correct? Yeah, that sounds about right. I believe it was the 18th. It's possible it could have been the 11th. But basically, they're still all the way from April 1st. Oops. So from April 1st all the way to April 27th, we have not been given any update of new dilution numbers. And so basically from all those days right there, we have not got any dilution numbers. And in this time frame, there's been almost 1 billion shares traded. If you like, the price has only dropped, the volume's gone up, they're hiding dilution. Now the volume's dropped and plummeted to the 38 million. To me, it looks like squeezes tomorrow. Could take a couple more days, but everything looks perfect to me. What else do you need to know? Basically, what we're doing here is we're buying up all the available shares until there's no more shares left for them to dilute. And then it squeezes. I believe we're going to $20 a share. One thing that I will say, so GME squeeze happened on a Wednesday. AMC squeeze started on a Monday. This has been a lot like AMC because all 3 dilution announcements that we have received since February 11th. Well, February 11th was the first one without dilution of 20 million. Then like March 14th or whatever, that's when we got our first announcement that there was 150 million public float. So basically we bought 130 million shares by that time. And the other 2 dilution numbers, one came out Monday, the March 28th, and then the other one came out the other Monday, and it was either the 18th or the 11th. So basically, if it doesn't happen tomorrow, if it doesn't happen on Friday, then Monday would be the best day. Now, if Monday comes around and we haven't got an SEC filing about new dilution numbers, probably not the start of the squeeze, and we'll probably have to wait till the following Monday. I really feel like it's coming tomorrow or Friday or Monday, but if we got to wait one more week, that's just what we got to do. One thing that I want to show you, so AMC outstanding history, shares history. If we look at this, let's go. Let's go, fool. I don't know why it's taking... There we go. Okay, so if we look at the outstanding share history, this doesn't really do it justice and show how many different times they diluted, because like they diluted in January, they diluted in February, they diluted in April. But you can see that the outstanding shares went basically from nothing to a lot really quick, and then the squeeze happened, and then the outstanding shares increased, and that's where the price has been dropping. So basically they squoze it at the 450 million shares because they had to save the other 63 million shares to use as a dilution force against the FOMO that followed into the AMC rallies. So that's what happened there. If we look at BBIG outstanding shares history, if you just go through all the squeezes that you know of, you'll see that the outstanding shares goes from a very small amount to a very large amount, and it happens in a pretty quick basis. From this point to this point, I believe BBIG went from like $2 to $10. Let's see. And then after the squeeze happens, retail sells their shares, and because but the shares stay in the float. So even though it looks like the public float is large on most of these stocks, after the big rallies happened, retail sold most of their stocks, and you can see that there's just been no volume in any of these stocks, and like they're just dead. So you don't want to buy AMC or GME because the squeeze already happened. But my point is that if we look at MULN outstanding share history, Let's see what they give us. So you see, like, this one's not even updating. 5 million, 23 million, 34 million. We just saw that other post back there right here. It says it's 284 million. And so that's a huge gap up. If you look at those other squeezes I just talked about, or go search any of your other squeezes you've ever heard of, they all follow this same pattern. And with MULN stock price dropping as this thing is rising, it just tells me that the squeeze is almost here. Get ready, people. It's coming.